Okay, so today is Thursday, May 7th? Oh, that's an 8. Today is May 8th. I was close, actually, just going off the dome. Hi, hope you've been having a good week so far. Hope whenever you watch this, you're having a good day. If that's today, if that's tomorrow, if that's in 2027 for whatever reason. Hope you're doing all right. I just finished watching the new episode of Survivor, so let me go and address that first. I'm going to be dead ass. I thought Joe was going home. I really thought this is the episode he's going to go home. You can feel it building. You can kind of feel the shift. You can feel like Camilla wants to do this shit. Mitch, I'm not going to lie. Mitch annoyed me a little bit in this episode. I've been saying, I really do like Eva and Joe. I'm not like, I can't wait for one of them to go home. I don't want either of them to win. Nothing like that. But in the last episode, Mitch is in a position to do something. It's you got a tight 4, and then kind of 4 stragglers. Some of them, like himself and Camilla, are kind of with this 4, but it's very clear they're on the bottom, except Camilla's got her Kyle connection, and that's kind of its own thing. Mitch doesn't know that. And it feels like, yeah, you 4 can make a move against those 4. Maybe we can push them to go to Rocks. They probably won't want to go to Rocks. This is the move to make. And Mitch is like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't trust Mary. I don't trust Star. I can't do this. And you know what? I can understand that. If I feel genuinely more comfortable with these 4 than this 4, including myself, maybe that's what you do. But to come into this episode and say, like, immediately after Tribal and go, man, someone really needs to make a move. Someone really needs to do something about Joe. Joe is a fucking problem. Like, this dude is gonna win the game. When you could have done something, like, obviously Joe won immunity, so you can go for him, but you go to target Eva. She feels incredibly safe. She would not have played her idol. You could have went for Shaheen. You could have went for Kyle. Camilla was never going to go for Kyle. And I think it was like when Mary said, how about we do Kyle? That's when Camilla said, no, I'm not turning on Kyle. But you could have still went for Shaheen. You could have went for Eva. And it's just that, like, man, someone really needs to make a move. Brother, you could have. And I'm not going to lie, that, like, frustrated me a little bit. But on the flip side of that, you have Kyle in this episode. And this is everything I love about Survivor. You have someone saying, I came out here because I wanted to play and I wanted to win. I have people that I'm fighting for. I have people that I'm playing for. But I have made real, genuine connections out here. I have had great conversations with people. And not just like, we talked about Dragon Ball for a bit and had a good time. I've shared things about my life with them that I didn't intend to. They just kind of happened because of that bond. And I feel like if I vote them out, I am betraying the integrity and the authenticity of those conversations because they were meant to be sincere. It is the player versus the human. And that is why I love Survivor. I had a really good time watching this episode because that's kind of what a lot of this episode was. And you've got Joe who's like, I didn't win immunity, like, by that close. Like, congrats to Camilla. Like, that was a really fun challenge to watch. And you've got Joe who's like, all right, I'm worried something might happen. I know I don't have immunity. Mary knows she's going home. If she has an idol, it's probably going to be me. Like, she just said she's writing my name down. That's not fun. That's scary. I feel scared. However, I could do something about that. Like, I could write someone else's name down just as a precaution, as a defense. And he's kind of floating that around to other people, and everyone tells him, here's the problem with you doing that at this stage in the game. It's Mary, and then us 6, us 4 plus 2, but us 6. Whose name are you gonna write down? Because if you do that, you're not just saying, like, yeah, my vote doesn't matter, here's a throwaway for whatever reason. You're saying, if it's like, I'm throwing your name down as the other person to get rid of instead of me. you are completely throwing someone under the bus. That's a bad idea. And what I love about this is I see both sides. Like, if I'm in Joe's position, like, if Mary has something, because what Shaheen was saying, he's like, dude, I've been in your position too, where it's like, it was all about trust. I knew someone was writing my name. I knew maybe a couple people were writing my name, but I had to trust in the people I decided to trust, and they pulled through. I had to sit there, I had to take it, and I got out of it. You can do the same thing, dude. Don't throw people under the bus. This shows that you're paranoid. It shows that you're willing to flip, and that's what got David booted, which they didn't actually say that part, but, that's what happened. The difference, though, is this is not just about I'm not trusting my alliance to stay with me. This is I don't trust that the person on the bottom isn't going to play an idol. Those are different things. But at the same time, the alliance is still right. As Mitch kind of is like, well, whose name are you going to throw out there then? Mine? Like, are you just going to tell me that? Because yeah, that's not okay. I sincerely believe if Joe said to Mitch, like, hey, man, as defense, I'm going to write your name down, Mitch would have went, the fuck you are? Like, okay, then I'll write yours too. So that way we won't tie. It'll just be you who goes home. And then maybe if he had said that to Mitch or whoever, which at that point it was Camilla won immunity, the 4, and Mitch, so it would have been him. I 100% believe Mitch is writing Joe's name down, and at that point, Kyle and Shaheen are like, okay, we can do this, and then Camilla goes, thank you, and then Joe goes. So it looks like, from the previews for next week, it is, which again, it's Camilla, Mitch, and the 4. It looks like the 4 is finally going to start turning against each other. It looks like Kyle is trying to throw Shaheen under the bus to Joe. So either Shaheen's going to go, Kyle's going to go, Joe's going to end up going. We'll see what ends up happening. But like, all right, we are getting down to the wire. And I think today was a really fun, I guess technically yesterday. This was a really good episode. I think next week might be some fireworks, and then we'll have the finale. So other stuff in the week. So I was getting gas the other day. I think this happened twice within this past week, or it was like one time last week and I forgot to write it down. But I'm getting gas because the gas station I go to, that's right by Clay's house, got rebranded. It was a Come and Go, and now it's a Maverick. And so, there's a new sign and shit. Like, I think the interior of the store is a little bit different. They've changed the actual, like, gas pumping machines a little bit. And as I was sitting there the other day pumping my gas, it just started playing an ad. It was something like advertising the company. And I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something like, hey, do you like stuff? Well, we have like a reward program and you can get a lot of stuff by doing the reward program. Isn't that great? And as I was sitting there, I was just thinking to myself, this feels dystopian as shit. Like, this feels like I'm in an episode of Black Mirror right now. Like, it felt like a parody of, like, corporate greed and capitalism. Like, hey, we're just gonna advertise to people who are already buying our product to keep buying our product. It's, do you like stuff? Well, here's how you can get more stuff. And it was so fucking bizarre. I don't know. I just had to bring that up because, like, it happened yesterday or the day before. Again, I got gas the other day too, and I was like, yeah, that just feels so weird. Because before, when I would go get gas, it wouldn't give me an ad to go buy, like, the reward program or to get more gas. It was just, I pump this, there's a radio playing, and I do my business and leave. This felt weird. I don't know. Sunday, was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday, Clay and I went to go see Monty Python and the Holy Grail in theaters because they had a theatrical showing. And because it's the 50th anniversary, I didn't even realize the movie was that old. I figured if it was in theaters for an anniversary, I was like, all right, maybe like 35, 40, 50. Damn, that's notably more older than I am. Not the first time I've seen the film. I've seen it a good amount of times. I think my personal favorite joke, as much as I love the Black Knight, I think the Black Knight's probably the most iconic thing in the film. For me, it's the holy hand grenade. I think the holy hand grenade bit is so funny. And then another one of my favorite jokes is Arthur at the bridge, and that just the African or European, where just that swallow joke has been building throughout the movie, and I think the payoff is fantastic. I think the movie is really, really funny. It's not a theatrical experience, though. And I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to argue that it is. But it kind of. I think, like, the film itself, not especially. I think if you have the right crowd. Because there was a handful of people there, and there were definitely parts where people were laughing. But it wasn't like a, man, like, it was packed, the crowd's getting into, like, watching The Room. That is a cinematic experience. Not because of the quality of the film, as much as I love it. You don't have to see The Room on the big screen. But it's that feeling of watching it with a crowd, just getting into it and being super goofy. Like, I've never gone to a Rocky Horror Picture Show showing. I would love to. I feel like that would be incredible. Holy Grail feels like the kind of movie that should be like that. And if it was, I think it would have been an incredible experience. As it was, I had a good time, but was also just kind of thinking to myself, if we had just watched this at the house and didn't pay like $13 for a ticket and instead paid like $2.99 to rent it, I would have had just as good of an experience. But speaking of cinematic experiences, I had a double feature a couple days ago. I watched A Silent Voice, which I made a video on, and I cried a lot during the movie. I cried a lot during the video. It was a very emotional and personal experience. But before that, I watched Speed Racer. If that movie has like a if it gets like re-released in theaters, or if they do some like a room kind of thing where it's like, all right, yeah, you can go see it for like a weekend or so, I have to go. This was so fucking fun to watch. And as I was watching, I was like, could you imagine seeing this on the big screen? Just like the way the colors pop, just how fucking fast and visceral the action is. This movie's great. There is a scene in this movie where John Goodman is fighting a ninja who is trying to assassinate or at least incapacitate. One or the other, I'm not 100% sure, because when they got to the 1-2, they didn't kill him, they just made him unable to drive by drugging him. But John Goodman is fighting a ninja who is trying to harm his son. And after beating his ass and like spinning him, he starts spinning him on top of his head. It's so fast that the dude's shurikens just go flying into the wall. And then like puts the dude, I think like on a table, kicks it out the window and it goes flying. And he just like says, it's like sad what passes for a ninja these days. And the implications of that line and what his past is in this universe are fucking awesome. The racing scenes, the driving scenes are so fun. This movie is so colorful, especially the fucking climax. There's so many scenes in this movie where I was just like, is that just a Hot Wheel? Like, did they just like actually take a Hot Wheel on a track and like film it for this like these couple shots? Because that's really fun. It's one is like, does the movie look realistic? No. Is it supposed to? Fuck no. Do I give a shit? Hell no. Like, it doesn't look realistic. It looks cool. It looks fun. It is just a blast. There is a video of the climax of the film, like the last 5 minutes of the movie, with the song The Top from Initial D. And I swear I've seen that video like 4 times since watching the movie. It's so hype and like so perfect. I'm kind of disappointed that's not actually in the movie. I might just link it in the description. If I remember, I will. If I don't, my bad. But, it's It was amazing. It was incredible. The best way I can really describe this movie is the aesthetic of Barbie, like this pastel paradise, with the energy of like a Fast and Furious film or like a Rush Hour movie, excuse me, while also being wacky races. It's beautiful. If you haven't watched Speed Racer, please go watch Speed Racer. If you haven't watched A Silent Voice, please go watch A Silent Voice. Sorry, I was actually supposed to kind of build into that with something else, but that still kind of works. So, one of the reasons I had that double feature, I had been meaning to watch both movies, is I bought a copy of A Silent Voice at Barnes & Noble. And on that same day, I found a graphic novel adapting the first two Warriors books. And I didn't know this was a thing, so I bought it and then I read it on Monday. Here's the thing. I cannot wait to do my Warriors video. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm hoping to do it in like the next few days or so for reasons. I'll talk about that in a bit. But it's not going to be like, hey, let me talk about the thing I just read. It's probably just going to be me riffing on Warriors for like an hour or two. It's like, okay, let me talk about this shit and why I love this series, like the original series in particular, like why it's actually really important and meaningful to me. Short version, I think it's super neat. Through that series, I ended up meeting one of my best friends, like genuinely one of my longest enduring friendships. She and I were talking like earlier this week because I specifically like showed her that. I was like, dude, this exists. What the fuck? And we talked about like how we met because of the series. And she's like, yeah, I was telling a friend about that. That was what, like 10 years ago? I was like, dude, that was 16 years ago. I have known you half my life. Like, what the fuck? That's insane. But that's also just like super neat to me. I can't wait to just sit down and be like, okay, let me talk about this shit for a bit. So, talked about Survivor. NBA basketball. So I watched most of game one between the Thunder and the Nuggets. Like, I might have missed the first few minutes, but I watched the majority of the game. And there was a point, I was telling Chris about this, there was like 4 minutes or so left in the third quarter, and then Jamal Murray hits a couple free throws. And it's not like, okay, now like the Nuggets are up, or it's like a 2-point game. It's still like double digits, I think. And I remember looking at that and saying, we're going to lose. OKC is losing this game. They shouldn't. They have no business losing this game. They have been in control damn near the entire way. The defense is playing well. Caruso's hitting threes. Lou Dort is over here looking like Simo Haya. This dude cannot miss from beyond the arc. But I can feel how relaxed they are. Like, there's these moments where they just kind of... I'm sorry, I was just like looking away and then I saw a big ass dog. There's these moments where offensively, they really take their foot off the gas and they'll just settle for a shot. Like, I remember this one point where Caruso has the ball at like the top of the key, not exactly top of the key, more than like one, not quite in the corner, but almost in like the middle. Anyway, sorry. He has the ball, everyone's covered, and he just shoots. And it's not like, oh man, the shot clock was winding down. It was, no, he could have dribbled. He could have gotten closer and like settled for a 2, try to get a layup or something. But it's just, fuck it. And there was a lot of moments offensively where I felt like the team would just kind of say, fuck it. And I didn't like that. Like, we're not up 20, we're not up 30. And we had a game these playoffs where we were down 29 and came back. You cannot be lax. And what do you know? They lost. And like literally the final seconds of the game. Those were fouling too early. I did not like that as it was happening. And I remember texting Chris immediately after the game ended, just like, I fucking hate sports. And he's like, yeah, they're super lame. I don't know why anyone would get into this shit. Yesterday, they beat the Nuggets by 40. So, I love sports. This shit's great. It's wonderful. What a great pastime. But so, the NBA right now, we have 8 teams left. OKC, Denver, that's one series. It's tied 1-1. The Warriors and the Wolves, which is insane because a 6 seed has home court in the second round. That's how fucking stacked the Western Conference was. And what do you know? It wasn't... The Lakers didn't win in 5, but their series did end in 5 games. So Lakers in 5 was almost kind of right. And I'm sorry, like, I just find that kind of funny. That series is 1-0 Warriors. Game 2 is tonight. And then in the East, Indy and Cleveland. Pacers are up 2-0. And the Knicks and the Celtics. Knicks are up 2-0. So far, so that's 4, 6. There have been 7 games played in the second round. And only one of those games has been won by the home team. That's actually fucking bananas. Like, yeah, both the top 2 seeds in the Eastern Conference are down 2-0. And look, it's a 7 games. It's first to 4. It's not best of 3. It's not first to 2. It's not even first to 3. Both of those teams could come back. Hell, in the finals a few years ago, the Suns were up 2-0 on the Bucks, and the Bucks won the series. It's not over till it's over. Actually, I'm also sorry. I was like, the 3-1 Warriors series, I think they won the first 2 games, and then they dropped game 3. So, again, sorry, just trying to make a point. It is not over until it is over. That does put some pressure on them, though. It's like, it makes these series a lot more interesting than I thought they were going to be. And I'll be honest, like, I am a very casual NBA fan. Like, but I genuinely did not know or appreciate how good Indiana actually was. And that's kind of all I want to say about the NBA for now. Just go OKC, go Thunder. Let's see, I talked about Survivor. I really haven't done any writing. I'll tell you exactly why I haven't done any writing. I've been playing Metaphor. I've played so much ReFantazio. That's just... I'm treating it like a Persona game, because it basically is, where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm playing this, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to work, which I've never had a job while playing a Persona game. No, that's not... I worked for like a couple days at McDonald's last year while playing 3-load. But generally speaking, I have either been like completely... I have been a NEET, or I was in school. But generally, it's like, okay, I will go to class / work and then just play this. Like, I might like go to the gym and take a walk. I'll like stop for meals and shit, but like, this is just the thing I do. It's like, I haven't watched Gundam. I don't think I'm gonna watch Gundam for a while. I'm just gonna play Metaphor. And it's so fun. Like, I very much like the story. I very much like the world. I really like my party members. I think the game is super fun to play. I hate the job system because I'm like, there is so much shit now for me to micromanage and like customize and analyze, and it's a lot, and I hate it, but I love it because there is so much for me to customize and to analyze and to level up, and I'm like, I love it. I am just fucking with the setup all the time. It's like, this is the shit I love about Trails, which Trails isn't a job system, but there's so much customizability in how you build your characters that, in a way, you're saying, this is how I want this character to play, so this is the job I'm giving them. Like, it's not really, but almost. And also, like, I really like the day system. I really like how the Gauntlet Runner works. So, like, yeah, I'm going to a dungeon, but I also can just chill and do things. It's been really fun. Without going deep into spoilers, just kind of basic shit. I am in Oceania. I'm going to the tower, which is like a side dungeon, to go take care of some side quests. Took care of a couple Gauntlet Runners. My MC, Tony Hawk. That fucking line of, you want to make Tony Hawk a candidate for the throne? Possibly the greatest line I have ever seen in a JRPG. Like, I was howling with laughter. The class I have him at now is a wizard, so Mage and Seeker have both been maxed. He's got like 15 levels in Merchant. I'm just not using it a whole lot. But I have him right now as a wizard. Stroll Warrior is maxed. He has a couple levels in Swordmaster. A lot of levels in Brawler. I just didn't max it. I think he's at like 15 or 16. I was just kind of focusing on Warrior. But right now I have him as a Commander. Which, where is he at? I think that's at like 10. I've only like just been able to level up in like a dungeon. Heisme? Alright, so we'll go to Hulkenberg next. Hulkenberg is currently a Mage Knight. I don't remember what level she is. She has 10 in Mage. I know for some of her later shit, she's going to have to max it out because I think she has to have Wizard maxed, which she's not really a caster, but she does fine. She has some levels in Gunner. She has some levels in Healer. Heisme is now a Cleric. I have barely fucked with him being a thief. I make sure he always has Steel. I'm like, no, he kind of cooks as a healer. I don't know. I think I just like him generally going at like the top of the order. I like that. I don't know. It's just something that's really worked for me. And I don't have any of the other party members yet. Excuse me. I have been having a lot of fun just playing the game. What I'm really liking is I like how excited I am to do dungeons and do combat. Not to say that playing like P5 or 3-load, I didn't enjoy combat. But I think because of the job system and how that works, and it's like giving me more shit that I want to play around with and fuck around with, it makes me go of less of like, okay, I have to do fights, I gotta get my levels, I gotta do some grinding. Like, let's take care of business. And we're like, ooh, I really hope I get the it really does feel like I'm playing D&D. I'm like, I can't wait to see how, like, my class fucking evolves. Do I want a multi-class? Which in D&D is, like, depending on what you're trying to do, that can be a really helpful thing. It can be like, man, you're cucking yourself out of other levels that you need here. But here, multi-classing is great. It is encouraged. It's damn near required. This game's really, really fun. I'm not going to be able to play it in a couple weeks. Because the last thing to bring up is I'm going to be going back to California for a bit. I will be leaving next Wednesday morning, and I should be coming back the Saturday after. There's going to be, I have a trial that I'm going to go attend. I don't want to just say, attend, like I'm doing jury duty or shit, like I'm going to be working it. I've talked to the lead attorney about it. Obviously, I'm not going to go into any details here, but it's definitely something I wasn't expecting. Like, oh shit, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to go back so soon. I'm glad it's only for a few weeks. Essentially, it's, all right, going to be there for a few days to do some prep work. Trial. We're expecting trial to end that week. If it goes a little longer, it'll go a little longer, and I'll have to stay a little longer. If it ends earlier, I probably won't leave earlier, but maybe I will. And I won't lie. As much as I had said throughout the last trip where I'm like, man, I just want to go home. I don't want to do this. This to me actually sounds kind of nice. And I think it's because I'm not going to be there for 7 weeks. It's 10 days. That's very doable. That to me feels very much like, all right, get in, do the thing. And they come, they eat, they leave. The phrase from Bug's Life. I don't know. I think just because of how my brain works, where I'm very goal-oriented and very task-oriented, which is why, with Metaphor, I'm like, okay, this is the task. Play this long-ass game, and then I can do the next thing. At that point, I think I'm gonna work on Isla. I really fucking should. So for me, it's cool. I'm here to prep for trial, do trial. That is the goal. I can lock in. It's fine. I think the problem with the other one was there was that for the trial, and it was long, but we got it done. It's cool. Now I'm here for another month just doing shit. And I don't know. That's where I started to really just feel drained. And not to say that the first few weeks of the trial weren't draining and very long. But I don't know. It's like the ending wasn't really in sight, which made that all feel so much longer and so much more arduous, you know? But this, again, like, I'm not expecting this to be a picnic. I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to lock in. I'm going to have to put in long hours. I get that. And I think part of it was also I wasn't expecting to do the trial last time. It's just kind of how shit ended up happening and working. So I was like, okay. This is, okay, cool. This is what they need. This is what I'm there to do. Let's fucking go. So, hoping that all goes well. Genuinely, this might sound like really cocky. It's like, I'm expecting it to go well. Not saying that I'm expecting like we're going to win hands down, blah, blah, blah. It's just, I am expecting to go do my job and to be effective. And that sounds nice. So, I have to get in a lot of metaphor the next few days. So it's like, look, I'm not going to be able to play this for like 10 days. I'm not going to bring my PS5 with me. I'm not going to finish the game, obviously, but let's get as much done as we can. I think that's about it. So, hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all have a good week or so. I guess next week will be a California Talk. I don't know if I'll be in a car or not, but we'll be a California Talk Tuesday. So, Thursday. Hell, might even do like a Wednesday night. It kind of depends on how the schedule works out. But I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully I can get that Ding Dang Warriors video done. I'm glad I got the CCA video done finally. I'll be honest. I don't know. It didn't feel great. Like, it felt very messy as I was recording it. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. Maybe it's worse. I don't know. But I wanted to go ahead and just say, fuck it, let me get my thoughts on the movie done. I now have to do the unicorn video because that's what happened afterwards. And I really, really liked Unicorn. So hopefully that I'll be able to do that video soon-ish and it won't feel like an absolute fucking mess. But that's it for this. See ya.